are not given against these critical government projects, then the judiciary will be clean. And I think that is where now it becomes extremely subjective, and the objectivity in the very good rationale of ensuring that we reduce or eliminate corruption within the judiciary is lost.
Yeah, that statement you've spoken about, that will not allow the judiciary to frustrate government efforts. Does then this prescribe a situation where we shall perhaps, maybe not, start seeing judgments and rulings and orders that seem to be going in tandem with the executive? Does such a scenario seem to be foreseen in following such remarks and sentiments?
We are going to be watching out for that. And it will be extremely, extremely unfortunate if the judiciary succumbs to this latest arena of threats and intimidation. Because then they would have betrayed the Kenyan people. They would have failed to live up to the oath that all of them have taken. And it's part of the reason why, as the Council of the Law Society did call out its members for a peaceful protest march that will be preceded by the lawyers retaking their oaths in public, so that we can affirm that as a body of lawyers, we stand ready, able, and willing to defend the rule of law, to defend the administration of justice, the independence of the judiciary, and our constitution. And so there we also expect, because to a larger extent, the members of the judiciary are also members of the law society, because they are first advocates before then they join the judiciary. We also expect, because they have taken a similar oath, that they will also abide by their oath. And in this process, that they will not only uphold the oath that they have taken, but they will also ensure that they act with integrity, because it is that that they are called to do. And we will be asking them, as we undertake this process, that they also recommit themselves to the words of the oath that they took.
Because then, moving forward, even as we enter the home stretch of this conversation, I'm seeing some feedback here. Njeru Muria from Chuka Tharakanithi is saying you're enjoying the show. Thank you so much for staying with us. Of course, keep your questions coming. There is one asking here, what happens then to judges and their independence, even as they issue their judgments? I think you've just addressed that. I was going to the point of looking at now the whole spectrum of the rule of law. Do you think as a country we seem to be taking an upward trajectory? Are we stagnating, or are we going downwards in the adherence to the rule of law?
The assessment of that largely is determined by how the state behaves and responds to court orders. And I think...
Has this government been adhering to court orders, do you think?
I think that publicly they started off on a very good note by saying, we are going to comply with court orders. We remember that there are several decisions that have been given by the courts, which, although the executive was unhappy about, and other institutions, even Parliament, they have actually largely complied with those decisions. So to that extent, we were happy. First year or the first few months of the terms of this administration. But as time has gone by, we have seen talks and discussions that tend to suggest that the law is now becoming an inconvenience on the part of the state, and they're getting extremely frustrated, and they want to say that we will not be bound by these decisions. We disagree with them, and we will not be bound by them. And so that public rhetoric,
yeah.
is one that is extremely dangerous to the rule of law in this country. And we would want to urge the executive and the entire Kenyan population that, and we have seen this happen. We have seen strong men of the law.
Yeah.
We have seen those who abused the law in the last administration.
Yes.
When this administration came in, they were running, you know, all over the place.
Yes,
And that is what will automatically happen. If we do not support strong institutions, if we do not support the rule of law, and if we cut corners with the rule of law, it will come back to bite us at a particular point. And so